Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to talk about tables in both HTML and CSS. First, let's open our code editor. Here I have simple HTML file and CSS file which has linked into this HTML. Let's run this with our live server. Okay, now for using table, we have this table tag which we use this to contain all of our other elements and tags about table inside this tag. After writing our table, here first we're going to create table row, and it starts with tr and ends with tr. Now in here we have our first row of our table, which tr stands for table row, and inside this table row we have td tag, which is the content of the table cell, and we can have multiple of these. But sometimes we want our cells to be the table's header cells. To do that, we use th instead of td in here, and as you see now our text has been bold. Let's create a full table right here. First, we use this th tag to specify our header cells in our first row. For example, here we put name right here. For example, age here. For example, favorite color here. And then favorite car right here. And below this, let's import another row. And inside this, we are going to specify the items that we have wrote in top. For example, we write the name Ali right here, and then in this system, each cell go below the above cell in the position that those are, which means our first td tag is going to be below name, second one is going to be below age, third one is going to be below favorite color, and the fourth one right after this. So for age, let's put 35 here, favorite color, for example, black, and favorite car, let's say BMW M4. Okay, now let's have another row too. This one's name is Ted, age is 24, favorite color is purple, and in the car, let's say Challenger. And let's have another row too. For the name, we put Tony, age 28, color red, and car, let's say Viper. You see now we have something like table right here, but we don't have its lines and the cells aren't separated in a good way. To separate them, here in our CSS, we're going to target our table first and give this a border. But as you see, it has put border only around the table, not in our cells. For doing that, we use td here instead of table. And for having these borders in our th tags too, we add th tag right here. Now you'll see we have our borders. But this is the problem here. You see now we have doubled border all around our table. To fix that, we use the border collapse property, and we use this in our table. Here we use border dash collapse and set this to collapse. Now you'll see we have fixed that problem. In some cases, we need two items in one cell. One way of doing that is to separate item using dash or comma. For example, here let's say Ali likes black and blue. We can write this like this, but this is not a professional way. What we can do is we can split cell itself horizontally or vertically to two cells and write each value in that. So here we add another cell and write blue right here. But you see now we have our structure messed up. So here in the third cell of each row, we're going to use something called colspan and put this in which number that we want to use. For example, here we want two cells to be in our favorite color. This is the third cell in our row in each row. So we use colspan and here we use 2. Now you see we have this favorite color, this cell, taking 2 cells space. And we are going to do this to all cells except the cells that we want to be like this. So we're going to add this colspan 2 to this one and then to this one. Now you'll see we have our structured table with 2 cells inside this one cell that specifies 2 color for Ali's favorite color. So let's remove this colspan. Now let's think Ted's color is black too. But we want to write only one cell here that contains both Ali and Ted and specifies their color. To do that, we use rowspan right here. For example, if I write rowspan on the top element, what number I'm going to type right here, this cell is going to put those numbers of rows space. For example, if I put 2 right here, you can see now it has 2 cells space right here. And if we change this to 3, you can see now it has 3 cells space. So we use this too, and because we have this black right here, we're going to remove Ted's black from its row. Now you see we have this that specifies both Ali's and Ted's color. But let's say we want our content to be center of our cells. To do that, we use text align property right here and use center that makes all of the content centered in our cells. Or we can have end, which puts everything into right side. We can have left right itself, and start that is just like this, which I'm going to use center right here. And one other thing that we can have is our vertical align, that we can have this in baseline, which is the top level, and then we can have this in bottom. We can have this in middle, as you see, and bunch of others, for example super and etc. Which here I'm going to put this in middle too, which I don't need this here because its default value is like this and I'm good with this. Let's fix this black thing too and add this black to our head, and let's make this purple. Okay. Another thing that we can have is to give color to our tables. For example, let's say we want our head cells to be in blue. So we select our TH tags and let's say we want the background to be something like this. Now we have this background right here. And let's say we want our rows or body of our table to be in, for example, this color. Now you'll see we have this. But sometimes we need to set color only on odd or even rows. For example, if we have lots of rows, that as you see it's complicated right here. To fix this issue, we can set background color differently for odd and even rows that can help us read our tables better. To do that, after selecting this row, we use this double column. This is called pseudo elements and classes that we are going to cover in the next part. But just know this, if we want to set color differently based on odd or evenness inside our tables row, we're going to write just this dash child, and here we can specify, for example, I want odd values. Now you can see we have only odd values. Change the color, or we can change this to even like this. And if you want to change the colors of columns instead of rows with this pattern, instead of selecting row, we are going to select the cells of our rows, TD right here. Now you can see we have all of our ages and colors in this color. And here we can use some other formulas to specify this. For example, let's write 3n. This thing is going to apply only in values like 3, 6, 9, 12, and etc. For example, 3n plus 1, that's going to apply to this and this one. Yes, you can use any formula that you want right here. And let's make our table a little smaller. Tony, Ted, I think this is good. We have 1, Ted, extra. Okay, now this is good. And let's make this a little better looking thing. And let's style a good looking table right here. First, I'm going to remove border from our cells, and I want them only in our header cells. Then here, let's select our rows. Let's give default background for our rows. For example, here, let's say we want this something like blue. Yes, this is good. And then for 3n values, we want this to be something like this. And for 3n plus 1 values, I want the background color of, let's say, this one. Now you can see we have separated all of the rows by only colors themselves. Please give a like and subscribe to catch next videos.